So here, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Asta Went to the Naruto World, Part 2. So Part 1 was only like 11 minutes ago, or not 11 minutes ago, 11 minutes. And about like 7 hours ago or something, I don't know how long it was. But I am extremely tired, probably. I don't know, I can't really tell. But not the point, this is Part 2 of it, and of course I should mention one thing. No recaps. If you want to watch part one just like came out like a while ago, but not a while ago, like yeah, whatever. I should shut up. But mostly this is part 2, so yeah, let me begin into this whatever. Let me shut the fuck up. But yeah, let's go. So we go into Asta and Naruto right now out of the kind of mostly classroom. What really happened during the 4 years of being in the class and all that? It's mostly them goofing around, but really they only goof around just to kind of have this false persona and all that. This false kind of accurate thing that not accurate thing, that people only think that they are goofy and losers and all that. Problem is, Asta and Naruto are physically strong and also mentally powerful and also in chakra. They're overpowered town. But yeah, of course, this is where Asta, after, them beating the shit out of Mizuki, we go into the time skip of them kind of, being in the Ninja Academy. Of course, this is where, both of them, Asta's sleeping, Naruto's also asleep because they don't give a shit about who's the sensei. But yeah. Of course, this is where, Team 7, Team 7 contains of Naruto Uzumaki. Yes. Asta Uzumaki. And, Sasuke. No, just kidding. Not Sasuke. Someone named Raven Yami. This is where, she was confused because she was actually from a different classroom and she had to show up in Naruto's classroom. Of course, this is where, Naruto and Asta were so confused in who the hell she is, but didn't really care that much. Of course, Naruto was like, no, Naruto-kun. This is where, some girls are kind of happy that they got on Sasuke's team. Mostly it was both, Sasuke, and what was its goddamn name? Sai, that was on team, something called Team 13. With the sensei being Yamato. But yeah, Kakashi was on this team just to kind of see Naruto. Because he kind of knows that Naruto's the son of, Sensei. But yeah, besides he's not stupid in this one because he knows blonde hair, yeah. Just take out the whisker marks, it looks just like Minato Namakase. But yeah. Now I should mention one thing before I go any further. I said last time that Asta learned the flying Raijin, a forbidden technique for the the scroll ceiling from the 4 Hokage. That I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say the second Hokage because the second Hokage was the first one to make the flying Raijin. Asian Minato was the one to improve the flying Raijin. So of course, Asta kind of got the incomplete version. It's not like the 4 Hokage. It's not the improved version. It's like the incomplete one that Toriyama made. But yeah, of course, where both Asta and Naruto are looking at Kakashi. When he came like 2 hours later. But yeah. Of course, where Asta's asleep. This is where Naruto's also asleep. Raven is just there, kind of just like creating things out of darkness. This is where she noticed that both of them are asleep, and this is where she doesn't really care. This is where, their sensei managed to get there after such a long fucking time. And yes, this is where, Kakashi says, hello there. I don't like any of you. This is where he looks at them. This is where he noticed Raven doesn't care. Her face is like incomplete, like doesn't give a shit that much. This is where then he looks at both Naruto and Asta. Asta's asleep. Naruto's the same. This is where Kakashi sighs, and this is where he goes up to them to try to zap them. But this is where before he even gets close to enough, this is where he kind of blinked once and realized that both Naruto and Asta has kunais. This is where Asta has actually a tanto straight towards Kakashi's neck, and while Naruto has 2 kunais right to his heart. But they're not like right deeply in there. It's just like close, like really close to his heart and all that. But it's not like cutting through the the clothing and all that. Kakashi widens his eyes and sees, you two seem to be very strong and very smart at the same time. So, you guys want to meet me up in the roof? I also say, who the hell are you anyway? This is where Naruto says, yeah, God, what the hell did he wake us for us up? This is where, well, Kakashi says, then meet me up on the roof. Bye. This is where, well, Kakashi is now on the roof, sitting there for about 20 minutes. Raven didn't go up there because she didn't really give a shit. She realized that the sensei is super late. And of course, the where, well, Naruto went back to sleep. And that's where 20 minutes pass. 1 hour passes. Kakashi then looks up and realizes that they haven't came up any damn time. That's where when he goes back down, he realized that both Naruto and Asta went back to sleep. Raven doesn't really care and seems to really not respect him at all. And doesn't follow his orders. That's where, well, Kakashi says, fine, let's do it here in this classroom. So, hello there, students of mine. You want to introduce yourself towards me? That's where, well, Naruto and Asta are still asleep. Raven, who's actually pretty smart, she says, don't you already have papers about us? You already know my name. You already know those two people's name. So why are you even asking us for our information? That's where Kakashi says, because I want to hear it from you guys. Maybe there was something that maybe the paper didn't kind of like have specific things that you like and other things. This is where Raven kind of sighs and just says, the name is Raven Yami, and I am from the Yami clan. My clan is mostly specialized in darkness. I don't know how I even got on this team because I don't know about those two users, but I don't think they use darkness. My likes are, well, kind of sitting alone, being quiet, trained by my grandfather, trained by my mother, hate kind of my father because he's kind of rude half the damn time. Hate also my older brother, and also I like a couple of food and all that. I also like my grandmother, who's actually pretty nice and kind to me, but very scary against my father and my brother. But of course, oh yeah, I also like food jutsu and other stuff like that. My hates are, well, arrogant people like the Uchihas, the Hyugas. The Essentials are pretty nice, so I guess I don't hate them that much. From stories I heard from them, from my grandfather. I hate people that are cocky, people that read those books of yours. She points at Kakashi, and Kakashi realizes that that's why she doesn't like him at all. This is where he puts the book away and says, sorry about that. This is where, well, Raven says, whatever. This is where she hates a lot of things, but yeah. This is where, well, then Kakashi says, hey, super hair kid, you wanna, like, tell me about, well, what's it called, your likes and dreams and your name? I'll just still asleep. This is where Kakashi sighs and says, fine, wait, no, I should use the long-range lightning. He grabs a chalkboard and then just throws it at Asta. Asta catches it in his sleep and throws it back at Kakashi, and Kakashi had to dodge to the left, saying, hey, hello, hey, kid, wanna wake up? Naruto wakes up and says, oh my god, shut the fuck up, I'm trying to sleep. I didn't get shit for sleep last night. What the hell do you want? Kakashi says, hey there, you want to tell me your name and your likes and dislikes and your goal? I should also mention Raven's goal was actually to become her clan head, the clan head. So yeah, the heiress of the clan head, but yeah. This is where Naruto says, oh, my name? The name is Naruto Uzumaki. Basically, my goal is to become the Hokage. Yes, he still has the same dream. And of course saying, my dream is to become the Hokage, better than my rival, my rival over here. That's why I'm gonna become Hokage first than him. Also kind of like open one of his eyes and say, shut the fuck up. Goes back to sleep, doesn't care. This is where, well, Naruto says, whatever. This is where, well, Naruto says that my likes are a couple things, like my brother / rival, my, ramen. Your ramen addiction, you fuck. Asta said. This is where Naruto says, shut up, you're the same thing as me, you fuck. Asta says, at least I can actually control my addiction, unlike you. screw you. This is where Naruto's kind of cutting at him. This is where Naruto says, ignore him. My likes are this, friendly people, nice people. My hates are arrogant people like the Uchiha, kind of more arrogant people like the Hyugas and blah blah blah. Kind of just saying a lot of things, and cocky people and other things. And this is where Naruto says, well, it's your turn, Asta. Asta says, let me sleep. I didn't get even a single drop of sleep last night. Well, maybe you shouldn't be training. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna go to sleep. Naruto falls asleep, but yeah. Like, he puts his head down, but yeah. I should mention what Naruto and Asta are wearing. Naruto isn't wearing, like, the same orange, like, jumpsuit like in Original Canon. The jumpsuit of Kill Me Now. It's mostly, it's like a flap jacket. Mostly, he's wearing a jacket, and of course, it's a dark orange color. Instead of, like, being a, well, like, orange, like a light bright orange like Original Canon, and also dark orange. It has some black stripes on it. Of course, it has the Uzumaki symbol on one of his shoulders and all that. And also, well, he does have another Uzumaki symbol on his like back and all that. This is where, well, mostly, yes, not a flak jacket, it's just a jacket and all that. It's mostly like a windbreaker and all that. And this is where he's wearing black pants, and of course he's wearing like black sandals. So yeah, and Naruto is completely different in this one in Original Canon than Original Canon. I should also mention he's wearing a white t-shirt, but, well, not white, it's like dark gray, but yeah. This is where, well, he's right now sleeping, because he just doesn't care. Now, we go into Asta. Asta, well, I should mention what he looks like. Asta does wake up and says, for fuck's sakes, why do you keep annoying me? This is where Kakashi says, come on there, what's her name? This is where Asta says, if you already have the papers, why don't you fucking say out my name? Kakashi says, because that won't be too fun. So what's your name? His name is Asta Uzumaki. I am, well, my brother's brother. Well, not really my brother, we're mostly orphans. But that doesn't matter. My dream is to become the Hokage. The goal is to, well, if I don't become the Hokage, I can at least be able to protect this idiot right here. He kind of like kicks at the chair of Naruto. Naruto's like, that's where, well, Asta says, well, my likes are my rival and slash brother, also friend, Naruto Uzumaki. And this is where he explains that his food is like ramen, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and other things that he kind of likes. It's not just ramen, unlike Naruto. That's where Asta says, also my likes are training in chakra, training physical, chakra, and also being able to kind of learn some Funjutsu. Yes, Asta is kind of interested in Funjutsu. Raven ears kind of perk up because she's also interested in Funjutsu. It's just she never thought that this other person would be so interested in Funjutsu. This gray hair, silver haired kid. This is where, well, Naruto's interested in only using chakra abilities. He's not really interested in Funjutsu that much, or yeah. So, of course, where, well, he doesn't really understand Funjutsu that much. Asta does have Funjutsu, but they have it on their skin. When Kakashi did try to attack them, he didn't actually notice that they actually summon it out from their like skin because they have symbols on Funjutsu on their arms. Ray didn't even notice that. Asta pulled out a Tanto for a minute while Naruto pulled out two kunais. Because yes, he doesn't understand the whole Funjutsu system or anything, and didn't ask Asta to kind of put it on his arms or anything like that. But this is where, well, Asta says, my dislikes are arrogant people, people that don't even try, people that give up on life, people that only want power. This is where Asta just kind of naming all this stuff, basically on Sasuke. This is where, well, Asta says, and people who give up on their friends and others. This is where Kakashi, for some reason, saw a splitting image of Minato Namikaze, or, well, a little bit of himself and Minato Namikaze, and it's Asta. Asta says, I just don't like people who just give up that easily. That's why I am the opposite. I would never give up, either on my friends, teammates, or whoever needs help in this world. Or village, mostly. This is where, well, Kakashi can see that Asta seems to be a very strong kid, and kind of looks like, well, not looks like Minato, just kind of acts a little bit like Minato no Makaze. This is where Naruto says, well, great speech. Maybe you should definitely write that on your, like, what's it called? Like, paper, so he won't ask again. Oh, that's fucking true. This is where Asta pulls out paper, starts writing all this shit down. Now I should mention one thing. Asta's handwriting is pretty damn good. It's in cursive mostly. And this is where Naruto's handwriting is also good. It's not in cursive, but it's just pretty good writing. That's where Asta and Naruto just throws the papers down. Mostly kind of puts them into a paper airplane and just like throws it at Kakashi. Kakashi grabs him and says, come on. You really have to write it down so I won't need to ask you again? You guys are so annoying. Raven says, here. She kind of makes a darkness hand appear with a paper. And this is where Kakashi says, you too? Aw. So mean of you people. Well, tomorrow is going to be the bell test exam. And I want you to not eat. If you eat, you will barf up. Asta and Naruto fall back asleep. They didn't even hear that last part. And this is where Kakashi says, I mean at you too. This is where, well, Naruto and Asta says, yeah, shut up. This is where Raven says, whatever, I don't care. This is where she gets up and starts walking towards the door. And Kakashi realizes that he doesn't have any power over the three students that he has. They're not spoiled or arrogant. They just don't care about listening to him. They seem to be already strong enough, but they need a sensei to guide them. But since Kakashi's lazy, he's realizing that if he becomes really too lazy, he realizes that his team little respect towards him, or any at all respect towards him, is going to just drop down to negative like 100. Yeah, Kakashi realized that he needs to actually try in this team. Because this team isn't doubting him. Well, it's doubting him for a lot of things, but isn't doubting him for his power. Maybe also for his power. But just for the fact that he was arriving in late. This is where, well, when Raven leaves, this is where Kakashi says, so tomorrow is going to be, this is where Raven says, I don't care. I'll get there anytime. Besides, you were late here. You will probably also do the damn same thing. This is where she walks out. This is where, when Kakashi looks back up, this is where Naruto says, I'm going back home. Oh, we can leave, right? This is where Naruto opens that window by kind of breaking it, by kicking it. Because there was a window next to them. And that's where he jumps out and says, wee! He just like falls backwards. And Kakashi says, wait, you too! This is where before Asta was also going to jump out. Like putting his legs onto the kind of window shattering glass and all. This is where Kakashi grabs him from the shoulder, Asta. Saying, what are you two doing? And this is where he looks down. Sees Naruto land down pretty safely thanks to his shadow clones. See you, sucker. I'm gonna go home and eat all the ramen. He flips off Asta and Asta says, you, let go of me. This is where, well, Kakashi says, no. You two are quite dangerous half the damn time. Listen to me, you brat. I know that Naruto isn't going to listen to me, but maybe you can. Besides, we're two white hair, gray hair people. Asta says, and I don't have anything in common towards you. Asta grabs his arm off of like Kakashi's like grip. And this is where Kakashi realized that Asta's pretty damn strong for being a kid. Now I should mention one thing. Asta is actually like not 4'9" like Naruto. Naruto's actually like 5'1". Asta's a little bit taller than him, being like 5'1.5", but yeah, this is where Asta says, what the hell do you want from me? This is where, well, Kakashi sighs and says, look here, brat. I'm here to kind of warn you. If you eat, or your brother eats, next morning. This is where, well, he realized that when he was talking, he realized Asta tried to jump out. Saying, I don't give a shit. I know that you're lying. You're lying about not to eat. I know this whole fucking test is about teamwork or whatever. There's no way in hell that this test is not going to be about somewhat about teamwork. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm going home. Asta jumps off, but before jumping off, he pulls out a kunai and throws it to the ground and flying Raijin. This is where, when Kakashi sees that, he widens his eyes. The flying Raijin. But it isn't like what they call, well, Minatos. Instead, Asta, they're kind of face palm to the ground a little bit, saying, still need to train in that. He realized that the flying Raijin doesn't have like a paper seal on like the kunai. It's like the second Hokage's still broken version. This is where, well, Kakashi realized that Asta might have been a genius and managed to copy maybe the same version as Toriyama. That's what he's thinking. He's definitely like Sensei. But Sensei never had a second child. I know Naruto is a child, but Asta, who is he exactly? This is where Asta gets home. Of course, this is where Asta, he goes towards the mostly apartments. And of course, this is where, when he opens the door, he sees Naruto eating all the ramen like a fucking goblin. Say no, mine, my precious. Asta says, you fuck. He pushes Naruto out of the, out of the fridge by kind of kicking him. And this is where Asta sees some potatoes and says, sweet potatoes. This is where he grabs him, kind of starts cooking them, starts eating them, saying, you can eat your fucking ramen, you bastard. This is where Asta's eating potatoes, but yeah. This is where, Naruto says, whatever, after this, I'm going back to sleep. Yeah, I need my fucking sleep, Asta said. And you do? I thought you didn't, since you are kind of a weird creature. No, Asta says, shut the fuck up, you fucking cat. This is where Naruto says, I'm not a cat. This whisker marks are not a cat, it's a fox. Now, of course, both Asta and Naruto knows about the Nine-Tailed Seal being inside of, what's it called? Naruto. Of course, Asta kind of figures out when he was kind of Funjutsu and tinkering with stuff and realized that Naruto does have a seal. When they got in, they kind of met the Nine-Tails. This is where the Nine-Tails say, interesting, a human managing to tinker with the seal. I didn't expect someone so foolish of you. Asta says, how the fuck did we get here? But whatever, let's just get out of here. Both Asta and Naruto just doesn't care, and Karama says, wait, no, I can help you. You want to get stronger, right? You want to become strong, right? I can help you, kid. This is where both Naruto and Asta disappear, and of course Karama says, no! But yeah, Asta and Naruto just didn't give a shit that much at that time. This is where, Naruto is sleeping on his bed, and of course, Asta, he has his own bed. It's mostly this room. This apartment did kind of switch up from the old apartments that Naruto used to have, that was in the hood and all that. Kind of changes up to kind of be a middle tier apartments. Mostly having two rooms. And of course, there's another apartments next to them, but that apartment's abandoned. And of course, they kind of just broke down the walls and kind of made it into 4 rooms, 2 bathrooms, and a kitchen that's pretty big, and of course, a living room. That's where Asta is right now sleeping in one of the beds and not caring that much. This is where he's sleeping. He doesn't care. This is where we go into the next day, and of course, this is where Kakashi, he gets on time and realizes his whole team is not there. He realized that all his team realized that getting that bad habit of his would be a terrible thing. This is where he says, damn it, I'm such an idiot. Ah, fuck. Of course, he did talk to the, third Hokage about how Asta's a genius in Funjutsu, being able to already copy the version of, Toriyama Senju's. This is where, when Hiruzen heard this, he was smiling, grinning, realizing that that one book that he gave Asta about Funjutsu actually paid off. This is where, he actually smiles and, of course, is happy about it. Of course, this is where Kakashi was confused, and then this is where he realized that Hiruzen was someone that was actually helping Asta in improving in Funjutsu. Asta was very good in Funjutsu and other things because of how he actually read in this one and actually read a lot of books and other stuff to kind of get used to. Even though when he was in another world, he didn't felt that lively that much, but in this world, he felt a lot lively. Of course, we go into, Naruto and, Asta just eating. Of course, we go into Kakashi kind of breaking down the door and saying, you two, where the hell have you been? Huh? We're eating, you fuck. This is where, Kakashi says, I told you not to eat. This is where Naruto says, the hell? When the hell did you tell us that? Asta says, actually, I do remember, I just didn't give a shit that much. This is where, Kakashi says, come on, you two. Let's put down the food and let's just go to the training ground. This is where Asta eats all the potato, and this is where Naruto eats the ramen pretty fast, and this is where Asta says, fine, let's go. And where's our third team anyway? This is where, Kakashi says, it's going to be a little tricky in actually getting into her, I should say clan house. This is where both of them looks at him, narrows their eyes at him, and realize that he's basically a pervert. They say, "You're a fucking creep." This is where both Asta and Naruto kind of said. This is where, well, Kakashi says, no. It's because she said she wouldn't come early towards the training ground, and I'm just going there to kind of knock at their house to see if she's there or she already went to the training ground. This is where, well, both of them say, "Sure, we will believe you. Like hell we would ever believe you." This is where, well, Kakashi sighs and says, "Just come on." This is where he tries to grab both of them, but of course this is where, well, they run past him. Mostly Naruto throws kunais at Kakashi, and Kakashi managed to catch him all. This is where Asta threw a kunai to kind of go with the distraction of just flying past Kakashi. Like, Kakashi tries to catch him all, but like a couple of kunais like fly past him. This is where Naruto grabs onto Asta Moshi's shoulder, and Asta's like, "Fly, Raji!" This is where Asta and Naruto did like smash into the door frame, but of course they get up and start trying to run away. This is where Naruto jumps off the railing because yeah, he fucking just grabs the railing, jumps over it, and of course starts kind of like falling down like 3 stories. Of course he makes like 3 shadow clones to kind of land down to the ground and cushion him. This is where he says, "See ya, loser." This is where Asta tries to also jump, but mostly before running, he tries to grab his kunai, and before he can even like get out also. This is where Kakashi grabs the kunai, well, a kunai from his pouch and says, "You jump, I'll kill you right now." This is where Asta says, "You fuck. I knew you weren't supposed to be trusted. No way in hell a sensei like you for such disrespect. You're only after Raven. That's probably what your reason is. You creep." This is where Kakashi says, "I'm not a creep." He then kind of like pulls the kunai away, and this is where Asta throws the kunai and flying right to say, "See ya." This is where, well, it goes through the railing because the railing has little holes and all that. Well, not little holes, like little spaces and all that. This is where it goes through, and this is where Asta just like jumps off the railing by kind of jumping backwards and kind of doing a cross and falling down like in Assassin's Creed, like the leap of faith and all that. And of course, this is where the kunai hits the ground, and this is where Asta's like flying right in level. This is where he appears. This time he actually does appear, putting his legs like on the ground instead of like face planting or something like that. He grabs the kunai and starts running off towards seeing Naruto. Naruto's like, "Let's go, let's go." This is where Kakashi sighs and tries to body flicker towards him, but this is where they're faster than the body flicker that he's using. This is where he's saying, "Damn it, did they already learn something like that?" Basically, it's just both Asta and Naruto's speed and their flexibility. They haven't actually learned body flicker or anything like that. This is where, well, when they try to like get away from Kakashi, Kakashi sighs and just says, "Damn it, this is going terribly. Well, time to go towards Raven's house. If I can't get her, I'm going to have to figure out how to get them all together." That's where he gets to what's it called, Raven's house. He sees Raven kind of talking to her grandfather, and of course, instead of Raven kind of going to the spot, well, she's talking to her grandfather and saying, why is she supposed to be in the team with mostly 3 dudes? Mostly the sensei is so lazy and such a prick, and reads his perverted books. And this is where, well, this person named Karasu says, "I see. What about the other 2 boys?" "They're both sleeping half the time, but they're strong as hell. One of them already knows about Funjutsu." This is where Karasu kind of narrows his eyes and says, "Interesting. What, do you like him already?" This is where Raven says, "No, that's not the point." Her face becomes a little shade of red, and this is where, well, Karasu says, my little granddaughter is right now falling in love. Interesting. That's not the point." This is where Kakashi says, "Yo, Raven, why haven't you come to the, what's it called, exam?" This is where Raven says, "I don't see Naruto or, what's it called, Asta with you, so how am I gonna believe you that they actually came and you didn't just come for me first, since I know you're a creep half the time?" This is where Kakashi goes, "Damn it." He kind of just sits down and says, "You see here, I tried to already get Naruto and Asta. The reason why they're not here with me is because they managed to escape from me." This is where Karasu laughs and says, "Really? You let 2 kids get away from you?" This is where, well, Kakashi says, "You see here, it's kind of difficult to kind of deal with all 3 of them when the fact that none of them respect me. From the sayings of what my granddaughter is saying, And of course, Raven behind what's it called, Karasu, kind of scared and even nervous, or not scared. Mostly she doesn't like Kakashi at all. And of course, just hiding behind Karasu. Karasu says, besides, you're kind of a pervert and other things. So of course she doesn't like that. This is where, Kakashi says, how about this, Raven? If you defeat me, I don't need to bother you ever again. You don't need to be bothered with the other two, okay? This is where Raven takes the deal because she doesn't want to be bothered by anyone. And of course, she's not thinking of arrogant herself. She's just hoping not to be bothered by anyone like that. She mostly works alone most best. And Karasu kind of agrees with it. Of course, this is where Kakashi, he gets ready to kind of fight her. But before even fighting her, a kunai, like 3 kunais appear. All with the same, what's it called, Fujitsu seal on them. This is where Kakashi realized that those are, well, this Fujitsu that basically, well, not Fujitsu, the same Fujitsu that, well, Asta uses. This is where he realized he has to jump away. But before even jumping away, Rasengan! This is where Naruto appears with a Rasengan, smashing into Kakashi. Kakashi could even barely react towards her, well, chakra level. This is where, well, he thought he can sense them, but they are actually stealthy as fuck. This is where Kakashi smashes to the ground. This is where Asta appears. Kind of like using what they call his 3 flame Raijins that were kind of near the ground next to Kakashi. Kind of appearing, kicking Kakashi to the side, appearing to the other side, kicking him up. And then just grabbing the last kunai, appearing from the back and slamming his leg down to the ground, kind of breaking one of Kakashi's legs. Kakashi widened his eyes and realized that this was a plan. He doesn't know if Raven and the others managed to talk it out before he managed to get here. That's where Raven didn't care and just said, darkness style, darkness capture of the abyss. That's where she managed to capture Kakashi. This is where Kakashi says, huh? This is where he can't move out of the way, but this is where Asta grabs the 2 bells and says, I guess this was supposed to be something about the bells. Well, too bad for you. It looks like we win. This is where, well, Kakashi says, you two. When did you manage to talk to Raven about your plan? Huh? No. We just knew that you were probably going to be a creep and go after her. This is where, well, Kakashi says, I'm not being a creep. This is just Sensei stuff. I was worried about all 3 of you, but seems like you 3 are all just too powerful. So, instead of like, I don't know, kind of like holding your Sensei capture, I think you guys let me go. This is where Karasu kind of clap his hands and says, good job, you 3. It seems like all 3 of you are pretty strong. This is where, well, Kakashi is kind of wondering what Karasu is talking about. And this is where Karasu says, since all 3 of you are strong, you should all probably kind of like, well, go towards, well, some food shop. The tree is on me, so let's go then. This is where, well, Kakashi's still kind of wrapped up and says, hey, wait, what about me? What about me? Hey, hello? This is where Karasu kind of brought all 3 students towards a place to eat, but yeah. And this is where, well, I'm going to leave it off here for part 2. But yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato soup, potato, and good night. Bye.